Helps if you turn on the camera. So you're probably wondering, why am I in a parking lot today of all places? Well, I'm in a parking lot because I'm going to change the way I do my lessons. I'm actually going to talk about stuff that I like to talk about and hopefully have a little more fun. Well, hopefully you'll have more fun and I'll have more fun doing lessons too. I have fun anyway, but I thought I'd just turn it up another notch. So this week's lesson, I'm going to be talking about, well, of course, cars, because I'm in a parking lot. So what kind of car am I going to talk about? I'll tell you in just a second. But it's a car that ever since I first saw it when I was a teenager and I saw other people driving this car, I thought, man, that is the coolest car ever. So, the car that I'm referring to is the Volkswagen GTI. Alright, so now that I've told you why I'm going to talk about the Golf GTI, I'm going to actually read you an article from an online car magazine called Car and Driver. Now, I happen to like these kind of articles because the writing is just so good and so colorful and so great, I think, for descriptive language. So listen to this, okay? So, the Golf's inline-5 engine looks weak on paper, but its copious torque moves the car without much effort. Think of it as a mini Mercedes and you won't be far off. For the planet conscious, the Golf offers an optional turbo diesel, which burns fuel with the stinginess of a hybrid and, thanks to a firmed-up chassis, blazes through corners with sports car ambition. At the top of the Golf range is the car every enthusiast should own at least once in his or her lifetime, the GTI. As practical as the Golf, the GTI adds serious performance to the mix with its strong and efficient 200 horsepower, 2-liter turbocharged engine. Its chassis is so well sorted that it can devour back roads as happily as it swallows the indignities of the daily commute. Sure, some of its competitors might be quicker than the GTI, but you'll grow out of them. The GTI gets a hold of you and never lets go. That, I think, is really a great descriptive story about this car, and it's really that great of a car. It's so much fun to drive, and it looks so cool. I really absolutely love it. So, what car do you like? What is the car that you've always wished that you could have? Let me know by leaving something in the comments, and now, stay tuned, of course, for proper pronunciation. Alright, proper pronunciation this time. I've got this playground in the back. I didn't tell you why I'm here at the playground. It's because that's how fun the GTI is. It's like, kids in playground. That's how much fun it is if you're driving that car. Anyway, proper pronunciation, the very first sentence here is, at the top of the Golf range is the car every enthusiast should own at least once in his or her lifetime, the GTI. One more time. At the top of the Golf range is the car every enthusiast should own at least once in his or her lifetime, the GTI. Second sentence. As practical as the Golf, the GTI adds serious performance to the mix with its strong and efficient 200 horsepower, 2-liter turbocharged engine. As practical as the Golf, the GTI adds serious performance to the mix with its strong and efficient 200 horsepower, 2-liter turbocharged engine. And the third sentence is, its chassis is so well sorted that it can devour back roads as happily as it swallows the indignities of the daily commute. One more time. Its chassis is so well sorted that it can devour back roads as happily as it swallows the indignities of the daily commute. That is proper pronunciation. And you know what? Forget about the conversation, because if you just listened to how I described why I like the car and talking about the car itself, that's a good way to start a conversation, just how I began this particular story. And so, for example, I said, why am I in a parking lot? Why am I here talking about this car? What car am I talking about? Those kind of things are really good for your own conversation practice and to start conversations with people using that kind of speaking. Alright, so there you are. Hope you enjoyed this particular lesson. We'll see you again next time.